Was a bit late for the prelim, so hopefully I will not time out. I think I mulligan this end. I'll keep this one though. Put back one of my free sagas, don't need so many. Bros, I can't name my deck an analyst deck on Stream Decker because there is anal in the name of the card analyst. The word anal. Anal not allowed, no anal. Anal is banned officially. Loving the hair, thank you. I was actually visiting a barber shop, hairdresser, getting a haircut. Which is why I was late for the prelim, but I was wise enough to enter the event before leaving, and then I came back and well, I was just down 3 minutes, so then I just prepped the stream and now I'm down 8 minutes. Perfect. But how many minutes do I need, right? Not too many. Swamp. Whatsies. Okay. 2 explorers. We'll play Spelunking. Probably getting a map with the next one. Old Grove. Okay, that's good. So now I get a map still. Crack. Gain Lotus Field. Untapped, no. Wait, that's actually not enough mana. That's 8 mana. So let's see if we draw them extra mana. But I briefly miscounted. Nope. Well, I mean, next turn I win, so there's nothing they can do. Next turn I make 12 mana with the Lotus Field and TUS Day. TUSA what? I tried your list yesterday with very minor changes, and honestly I thought it was you making it work, but the list itself seems very good. Okay. Today I'm playing a different list to check against my biases. Skilled swine like me, holy fuck. Any unskilled swines? The thing is, I probably just get Lumra here. Because Titan... Well, do they have removal in those decks that can kill Titan? They can kill the Titan of March, so... I guess it's better to get an Analyst, 1 card shorter, 1 card fewer. Not necessarily. Need to mill a bounce land. Got a bounce land. But now what? Right. Only one more pact in the deck. Why did you have the option to let the lands enter tapped with spelunking out? This link explains why. So I got a Lumra and it didn't really achieve anything, I guess. So I was supposed to get an Analyst because it would actually let me loop from this point on. I don't know. I think I didn't have a way to play through removal here, given that I had to T-West for my first threat. So I'll just summon Mr. Beast and hopefully it's gonna be good enough, but kind of confused by the lines here. I could have just went for Titan Mirrorpool, try to kill. That does fail if my opponent has a March to kill. In Titan I have a March to kill Mr. Beast, which is fine. Spelunking helps with time concerns. This game won by that way. Everything tapped, untapped rather. I don't have the time. If they march, then I'll die. Also spike. Couldn't have gotten battlements directly. I could have, but also why would have, right? Or like, sure. But why would have I gotten them directly instead of non-directly? gain more value. Getting them non-directly. Don't spike, bro. Thanks. Alright, so I was 8 minutes late, so I spent probably more time than I needed on this combo turn. We had a non-deterministic start, I guess. And I board in Vexing Bauble. Turtle. Force of Vigor hits Necro, but it's kinda bad. Dismember for Shoulder is not too bad, honestly. If I have free analysts, I guess I also have to be afraid of Buffy Voidwalker. Whoa, nice emote. You don't need the Pink Desert, chat. How do you win through ring protection without Dryad? You don't win, you just pass. You have the Nadu loops of Otawara and Boseiju, everything. And make an infinite board. It's inconvenient on Modo. You can board in Pact against ring decks. But how do you make sure you draw it, I guess? It's not clear to me. I guess you don't. So Dryad does make it that you have nice layering on the amount of things you can do to your opponent, but just play your own ring, lol. One place where it could be an issue is Twiddlestorm. Somebody mentioned that yesterday, that against Twiddlestorm you actually can not kill their Lotus Field, and you cannot kill their... like, you can bounce the ring, but it's not particularly good because they're gonna replay it. So it's overall pretty challenging, and you can just be in a spot where you can't win against that deck, which is awkward. I guess the Pink Desert would work too in that spot, but not on Modo. Inquisition of Kozilek. Kozilek na całe zło. Ski Boseiju for Necro. Killer Switch. That's understandable, but the question was, what if you don't have Dryad in your deck? The linked video explains all of the analyst loops. It's probably more efficient for you to watch it than for me to explain it. Yeah, I'm playing Dryad less today, basically. More or less copied House of Mana MTG's list for science, you know, just checking against my biases. See if I'm perhaps not doing stuff that doesn't make sense. In theory it does, but it's always easy to have strong theories built around stuff, like, you know, construct strong theories around stuff you already believed in. Boseiju, well put. You can instant speed Boseiju their breach, but they win by untapping ring, so it's pretty lame. Yeah, and bouncing the ring is really not that effective. Do I think Monis is a good person to follow on Amulet Matters? Perhaps. I would follow myself before following Monis. any day of the week. But it's often good to get some opinions from, you know, many sources. So I guess that's what you are trying to do, just trying to ask me if that source is reliable. And yeah, he is gonna be a somewhat reliable source. I'm not exactly sure how is his level of engagement with Amulet though, but no, they're Necro. That's crazy. I don't think I could handle the potion seller's strongest potions. Draw 16 cards. Holy shit. Can't die to spikes. Because I have ring protection right now, so we are safe. Weird, why is that weird? Pink Desert, I'm not playing it, but maybe it's gonna materialize. You can fetch Vexing Bauble with Saga. 10 cards left in hand, so probably wants to discard 5 lands. This card being played in Constructed Magic Modern 2023 and 2024. It's just always... It just throws me off. It makes me feel like somebody is wrong here about what is and isn't playable. Maybe that's me. Basically Nourishing Shoal. If you put it that way. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. So I have to perform the whole analyst loop. Oh, we have an analyst in the graveyard. I'm missing a card type. Has to be the Pact, I guess. House is playing Kessig Wolf Run. One of these was in the last list I checked, so maybe that has changed. Can't we just hasten Kessig? Yeah, but for science, right? I think because Echoing Deeps is in my graveyard, I actually have to. Because now I can't perform the action of comboing this way. Should have added red TBH. Thank you for your input. It's very valuable. Dum, dee doo doom. Alright, Cancer wins the match, so it's good. Play the 4-mana Bus Crusher made to destroy Lotus Fields. Holy guacamole, chat. You and your ideas. Hand seems pretty awkward. Really awkward, I guess, but I'll keep. Grazer pretty bad in this hand. So like this hand probably suffers from having Lotus Field in it over a bounce land, right? Giganta, Boros. Sure. Questing Beast just for MTGO. That's downright crazy. Don't static my prison. Psh, psh. Oh, not statistic prison, please. Fetching a Sacred Foundry probably means no Blood Moon. Ocelot Pride. No, it's fine, fine. Does Energy cheat with Blood Moon main deck? Yeah, for sure. They cheat plenty. Interesting. Well, not really interesting. This kind of sucks. Exclamation mark Dryadless. What did you expect, dear Dunkoro? What did you expect to pop up? This is definitely worse than a bounce land here, yeah. Lotus Field sucking both lands to play a ring. Next time if I need to, but I would prefer not to. Then I have ring and nothing, right? So doesn't seem like it helps me, and I can draw a Lotus Field. A bounce land is pretty good. Mirrorpool exiled. A little bit of an issue. Nice haircut, very modern, thanks. No i co mam zrobić? Did you forget to add lands to this deck? Lemao, so funny. Haha. Yeah, I forgot. I did not see the dingo's bug. So, by Lotus Field and Explore, I have 2 mana. Upon reveals Giganta acquires 53 energy. Okay, I've seen that. But it was a visual bug. Right? Lotus Field Ring. Play our next shows are Amulet, Bounce Land. Actually, Bounce and Explorer sounds kind of okay. Well, but then I die. Right? I spend 4 mana on playing a Bounce Land, I have 2 mana and I die. Careless Whisper. Can you combo up with just 1 Lotus Field in the deck? I mean, if you cast Titan with 2 Amuletos. Yes. This message proves that I can, by saying that I can. Bolt. What about the 0 Mirrorpools? I can win easily with 0 Mirrorpools. Now watch them have Bone Crusher. Okay, I'm watching. Watching hard. Need to draw Amulet Bounce Land from the Onion Ring. I'm watching the Bone Crusher. Stomp is currently getting cast. Okay, no? Modobug? Okay, Rings there. Oh, almost. So there's only 66% chance that this Lotus Field would have been in a bounce land. Let's continue boarding in Force of Vigor against their energy deck, even though I'm not sure it's actually relevant. I have been promised a Bone Crusher. Where is it? No bones were crushed. Mr. Beast is out. In what way? But yeah, no bones were crushed during the recording of this stream. Mr. Streamer, you have 63 cards in your deck. Very observant of you. I guess a moon deck, it's kind of uncastable. You know what else is uncastable with a moon on the battlefield? Literally everything. Like you never win by casting stuff with moon on the battlefield. Which is always when you Boseiju. Do I feel like your brain rots from engaging with us more and more every day? No, I feel like my brain is happy and stimulated for getting to talk with very marvelous and bright individuals in the chat every day, where I get to experience so many points of view and opinions about Magic the Gathering cards that I would have never thought of myself. And I'm just really impressed, and I think, wow, I would have never came to that conclusion myself. My mind would never go think up stuff like this. Is the green force just not needed for things like Blood Moon? Might have been fooled by my stupid art of the card, but I actually boarded it in. More so, I plan to destroy Blood Moon with it. In general though, it's not a great Blood Moon answer. The reason to board it in against Boros right now is that they also have other targets, so you can nab 2 things. And Storm is perceived as strong now, so people love to have Damping Spheres in their sideboards, at least theoretically. Like, that might not always be the case. But I've had people board in Damping Sphere against me plenty. Especially if you go harder on Lotus Field, the Damping Sphere becomes more of a problem. It's not really much of a problem. Dryad Contracts. Nie gryź! Co się dzieje? Wszystko jest git, to fulku. Leżysz sobie, chillujesz, tylko się głaskałem. Nie krzywda ci miałem zrobić zamiar. Dryad fixes helps with beating Damping Sphere because it makes your plants just make mana, make more land drops. Just ignore it. Grazer versus Ragavan, the classic matchup. Bro is attacking me. Cool. Nice attack. That's a reason not to play too many Analysts and too many Lotus Fields too, because some people will do that, and I will be ashamed if I ever lose to a Soaring Lantern, but it's pretty funny here that how little it does. Guide of Souls, Soul Guide, holy shit. They just play Soul themed and a Guide themed deck at the same time. Double Tribal. Excuse me, Kindred. Taipal, Kindred, Flash. Cool. That is amongst the more pathetic Boros draws ever. I cycle. Holy shit, another Ragavan and Tofulek. How can we ever beat the Lantern? That's a good question. Can't say I understand what's going on. We're performing an infinite loop. Basically, Lotus Fields with Shifting Woodlands and Analysts will make infinite mana, and then at some point infinite everything. Force of Vigor, Graveyard. Yeah, it's like Port of Kartoffel, but Port of Kartoffel has been pretty bad. Analyst loops are cringe based or extremely based. Based. They're fun. They're a bit click intensive sometimes to the point where it's annoying. But rarely. Make a copy of Grazer 2 and attack with it for content? No. That would be too unkind to my opponent. Is this win deterministic? Well, I mean, at this point, it's Giga deterministic max. So it depends on what point you start counting from. But for the most part, if you have all the pieces in your deck, you can get there from a single Titan with double Amulet. Can you play around removal though? At what point? If you want to play around removal on the very first Titan, then you kinda can, not like fully maybe. For the most part you can. No, you play removal by just starting with Analyst and then seeing where it leads you, but it's not deterministic at that point. Valakut bad. No, Valakut, I just don't play it for science today. Valakut is good. Maybe. I have 20 alt accounts on Twitch. Also, I can make extra song requests in the Twitch chat and canister_mtg. See, chat, that's why we have the play point costs to... Not play point. Kaneki point cost to prevent those people who would monopolize the song queue otherwise. Am I cringe for not liking spelunking or question mark? Well, so like if... What's your issue with spelunking? I'd say yes. When was the last time someone hugged you? Me? Yesterday. Or in the morning, but I was asleep, so I wouldn't know. Let's keep. No, I pre-consented also, and it's fine. Spelunking doesn't feel like a powerful card. I disagree. It feels like a giga powerful card max to me. This hand is about as cringe as it gets. Why? It's a turn 4 win. The replacement effect of some lands with Amulet out does something to my brain that doesn't release the good chemicals. So there's a little bit of an anti-synergy, but now with Analyst, it barely is gonna matter. With Explorer, it's a turn 3 Lumra. We draw a Grazer, it's a win. Well, win. Friday, Friday. Amped, gonna sound Amped Raptor, Unlicensed Hairs. No niezły byk. Niezły magik czarodziej. Kurwa. Cards cannot change zones. Sounds good. All sent for president of MTGO design. So you don't draw cards in your draw step. Creatures are just unkillable.
He's a phenomenal
Permanents are
player.
undestroyable. You can't
Hello,
play.
Mr. Streamer.
A card is stuck a zone.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Z Fatum.
Hoping for no moon. Especially since I played out a Boseiju. What if they have a moon? Then I play my Lotus Field, then I play my other Lotus Field, and I play a ring and hope to survive long enough to Boseiju it and have 10,000 mana in play. So if you play it without a plan, you lose. Awesome. Oh yeah. Mooning. I'm not sure why I played that Explore. By playing that Explore, I put an extra land into play, which means that if my opponent hadn't played a moon, I would have 3 mana, and I would play Lotus Field on my turn, and I would get to 6 mana, where I would summon my Primeval Titans. I hope that explains it. No i dupa, jak się Adżaniusz flipnął, to... No bo nawet ten Fire Spot to... tak powiem, chuje robi. Good time for Force of Vigor. Oh, that's true. I guess I wouldn't mind a Force of Vigor. Although awkward to have to wait till opponent's turn with it. WTF, 2 Ajani's. Alright, if I draw a ring and a Force of Vigor, that's gonna be good enough to win. Likely. Oh, 3 Boseiju, but... They didn't really overextend. This flies, this asks for toughness. So I need green mana to kill this. They have this, which is a 2/2 at least, maybe a 3/3. And then they have a Yani, which deals damage, so they extend it properly. Okay, very good hand. We have a Urza Saga Amulet, so 2 amulets and a Gruul Turf. So 10-3 Titan. Spell Pierce. Dobra, kurwa, spierdalaj, no. Takim śmieciem trzeba być, żeby drugiemu człowiekowi spell pierce'ować cokolwiek. Naprawdę, tak trzeba mieć wyrobię nasrane, że to jest fajnie. Tak robić. Nie czyń bliźniemu, co byś nie chciał samemu. A jednak. Okay, now we drew Commercial District, so hand is okay. Villain played Misty and Tarn, so means that there is no Stinky Magus in their deck, likely. Good that we drew the commercial district for the turn so that we were able to play it. It was a good spot to deploy it so we can save our Gruul Turf for the next turn. I counter spell, no ktoś wymyślił, chłop, nie? Fajnie wykoncypował. Maybe I should have made a construct this turn. Actually. I probably should have made a construct. With the Saga draw, just play that. Saga and chill. Right, bułeczka, daj tutaj mi na chwilkę pochillkować. Definitely should have made a construct. Would be much better to hold the ring in hand and then just try to play 2 spells in 1 turn. Especially with villain missing on land drops. The constructs also already was dodging Bowmaster, so pretty loose move on my part. I like the ring was the plan if I wouldn't have drawn the second Saga, I guess. Whoa, 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 co jest kurwa? No nie. F6. Could have just played a Titan. Could have forced a subtlety pool. Subtlety. Combat Archmage's Charm. What kind of a move was that? Terrible. Did an F6. F3 in time. Saga is not nothing at least. Playing the construct. How come that's your move? I wonder why Tamiya isn't played in Dimir. Is the card just that weak? I think the card is not weak in general, but it's a really awkward card to have in the grindy matchups versus Flash. Because your opponent taps 3 mana for Flash, and what are you gonna do? Can't counter it, so it just dies. Other threats in the Dimir deck match up much better against that, so it's probably that. Accept that time you dice and draw 2 cards from clues. What if you were on the draw? What if you didn't get to play your Tami on turn 1? Then only played after they play Flash. Seems like you should play Tamiya in your blue-black deck, but most people shouldn't. But you've got it all figured out, like you just cast subtlety. That's kind of insulting. So it just matches up poorly into what you actually gonna face. Pretty rough. Hmm. Six damage. Okay, Prince, the answer to that is it's probably full. I think we lost because of the misplay. Ah, great, so you play it for no reason. You can simply join another one. No guarantee it's gonna be free, but might be. So just so bar against their deck. So is spelunking, kind of. Well, it's more amp. Dismember for Harbinger, opponent at blue fetches. No dismember. You can play next week then, K-Prince. But you need to enter those events quickly. They get full quickly and they go live on Monday around 7 or 8 p.m. I think 7. And if you, in the first few hours, you're typically able to do that. Are they supposed to keep Bowmasters? Depends. People will often. Bowmasters is just a generic card, so they just keep it. But they also cut it sometimes, so I have no expectations as to whether they cut them or not. Sounds pretty annoying. I mean, it's just that there's a lot of desire for people to play in those events, so people play Harbinger with 0 swamps, then I'll get fucked. Beating Harbinger is pretty tough anyway, so no need to try to do that. No nie, no Spot Sizer, co to ma być? Spot Sizer, I barely knew her. Better than Magus. It's like you have the bounce outs to Harbinger, but 2? I have 1. But co ja mam nazwać w ogóle? Let's name the detective. But the issue... Map Otawara, okay, sure. So just bouncing a Magus doesn't really do all that much. You need to win immediately too, which is challenging. A little bit. It's not really a fight worth fighting. I think the bubble needs to be cycled. The Lotus Field here is really not something I want to play. It's so bad. Detective Cavern with Titan in hand. Looks pretty stupid now. Doesn't it? Grazer is okay against Frog, but it's so bad in the matchup in general. This is terrible. Is it possible you should just go for it with Lotus Field more often? Go for what? Like going for it, play Ring with no lands in play? Sure. Sounds good. Like even if it resolves, I have no lands. That is pretty horrible. But there is no good solution for that. Just Lotus Field does wreck you against counter spells. Villain Flash the Bowmasters, despite, you know, not in response to my Vexing Bauble, they miss a land drop. Odds of counterspell seem high. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Not enough mana. Stupid Cavern on Detective, holy shit. Who named it? Bros, who named Detective with the Cavern? Villain has to counter Grazer next turn. And if they counter Grazer, I can play Titan. If they don't counter Grazer, I put one of the fields onto play and then I Analyst. Oh, I hope they don't take the Grazer. What if they do? I guess I play Titan. It's not too bad. Or Ring. Fine. Holy shit, with this in play. Do I think Lumra is required? I would say Lumra is not required. I think Lumra is pretty cool though. Am I going to play with this with the Modern Super Qualifier? I will not play the Overnight Modern Super Qualifier most likely. Yeah, Lumra is just similar to Analyst, it just works a bit differently. It has upsides and downsides. Sometimes it's good. Hopefully no Cling or Surgical because I'll die to that. But we beat the 1 mana counter spell. Which I have to guess they have. No detective this time, no. This is gonna be slow. Did I cut myself off Delirium but got lucky with the Pact? No, I had Sorcery, Creature, Land, it's fine. Okay, opponent scoops to the loop, which would eventually put all the lands from my deck onto the battlefield. They play Thoughtseize. Definitely less interested in Grazer than. Lumra doesn't work with woodlands though. Yeah, it works with Mirrorpool instead, so. Being able to win without resolving a spell is pretty nice in this matchup, I agree. What's the win con after? If you draw your deck, you make infinite titans. It's good. They kept Bowmaster, so Spelunking is weaker. And they don't really attack Amulet. Są Lotus Field, to się naprawdę popisuje dzisiaj. Oj, mulligan. Keep. Maybe I should keep more lands so that I can make constructs without hitting a land. Put back a ring. Didn't need to. Curious. Think slowing it down a little bit with the Saga. Seemed like a non-Harbinger build. Psychic Frog turn 2. We lost. Should have gone balls to the walls. Full speed. Analyst versus Frog. Classic matchup. I charm block. I discard 2 cards. You win the game. I concede. Two frogs. Niemiło. Two frogs. I counter your spell, I attack you, I draw 3 cards. I counter your spell, I attack you, I draw 3 cards. I counter your spell, I attack you, I draw 3 cards. No zrobiłeś tak, co no. Two cards only this turn. No dobra, kurwa, no to chciałeś tego bardziej. I could play greed and try to draw, but the presence of this card tells me enough that I scooped. But honestly, we're kind of fine. If I go field, greed, and then I just chain cock rings, I probably don't do anything, but maybe I do. Seems like I probably don't. Oh. 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 Bro, why are you playing this shit? Game 1 we could have, I think, won by playing a bit better. I meant to play that Amulet, whoops. To try with more Analyst and no Dryad. I actually just net decked another user, and your feedback played no role in that. I'm sorry. Mostly it felt rough to me that I drew Lotus Field more often and it was pretty bad to draw this league, I guess. So we're dead because he's gonna cast a ritual. He kept a card on top, so he's gonna cast a ritual and just go off. Modern win race metagame. First to MTGO challenges post-ban. Gruul Eldrazi, Mardu Energy, Boros Energy. Holy shit, that's a good amount of Amulet Titan. So little Storm. Then how do I play against it every other day? There's no frog on this graph either, but I guess it's 2 challenges, so it's really not that much. Ooh, second amulet is solid. I mean, need to hit something with Lumra. Something rather good. I hit 3 lands, Boseiju District, Cultivator Colossus Forest. I guess I can just fetch Otawara, right? Or fetch TUS, that works too. It was expected that energy is too good now, but they don't think ahead, rather axe an unplayable card. Well put. Do you have enough mana to fetch TUS and Pact for the Analyst? I do, yeah. But I was thinking I'll just get Otawara. That sounds better to me. Well, I can also get a Titan, and Titan is just 100% win with no fail rate, so that's the best. 1, 2, 3. So 7 mana, I spend 5 on Otawaring, then I cast a Titan. So Titan just wins, and like Otawara wins, but if I mill no lands twice in a row with Lumra, I can, well, it probably just wins too. It's almost impossible to not hit the lands, but doesn't matter. So basically, like, no matter if you lean harder into this or into this, you just kill your opponent with great ease. So I think the important games to try to take care of are probably the postboard ones, and I guess there is some viability in just trying to approach it in a way where you're trying to be more explosive possible to get underhate, but that doesn't sound too viable. Why wasn't Otawara also a lock? Cost 6 mana, get 12 each loop. How do I get 12 each loop? Lotus Field, 6, 2 lands, 4. No, 1 land. So I get 1 Lotus Field and 1 commercial district. So that's 8 mana, right? So cost 9, produces 8 for sure, and almost assuredly produces more mana along the way to get there. Lotus 6, bounce 4, Otawara 2. Oh, I didn't have the bounce land, so that's why it wasn't a lock. So a good thing I didn't go for that, because the lack of bounce land would have gotten me pretty good. Normally you do have a bounce land, so like I guess it is always fast enough. But I shortcut it in my mind. Hello Canister, when do you side the turtle in? When I find one of its abilities to be useful. That was exactly my point, Lizard, but I just didn't realize I didn't have the loop. What are the last guts? The end is kind of sketchy, of course, but probably would rather not have a larger deck against Storm than I need to. Can cut the second Woodland, maybe. It feels like it's not gonna really come up that you need it, and then a Grazer. This is a hand of cards. Let's keep it because I don't know if I should. But maybe. Understandable, have a nice day. So yeah, the cases where the turtle is useful is when your opponent through the breaches an Emrakul or plays Harbinger of the Seas. Do I not like Trinisphere? I don't. So my experience with Trinisphere was I played Trinisphere, I played against Storm, I had it in my hand, my opponent killed me, and it didn't matter. My other experiences against Storm were that my opponent played a Blood Moon, and the fact that I played a Trinisphere didn't matter. And then my other Trinisphere experience was that I played it and my opponent killed it with a removal. Wouldn't Cells Jailer be better? I think it stops you from analysting. Let me read the card, I'm not sure. But also not really, like Trinisphere hits them harder. Permanent cards and graveyards can't enter the battlefield, yeah, so that's a bit of an awkward
phenomenal control player
thing, but
Good morning,
maybe not
Kaneki.
too
What
big of
are
an
your
issue.
first impressions about Baldur's Gate 3?
Borrow downs in hand. Well, it stops them from digging for answers. Yeah, so does Trinisphere, right? It's like it has the same issues as Trinisphere. It's also a card against a deck. It's also a card that's only useful against a deck that's like a low percentage of the meta game and you're unlikely to play against it, so I also played against a Lotus Field Storm deck and then I had Trinisphere and it didn't do anything against them. Wait, I mean it does stop that deck from working, but seemed not like a didn't seem like an improvement over any of the slots. So I will Titan. They can just stop the Trinisphere. Holy guacamole. That's so funny. Wait, I have two amulets. What am I thinking about? I didn't realize I have two amulets. Oh no, I don't. Whoops. That's what I didn't realize. Can I have Otawara up after attacking? Vestige, haste, attack, bounce land, Otawara. Post combat. Is that better than exiling their graveyard or not? Post combat, tap my bounce land for explore, and yeah, I can. So I can keep Otawara up, or I can Barrow Downs. Maybe I can cast explore first, and then if I draw an amulet, I win. To win without graveyard, villain would need to have 5 cards, so they go Medallion, Ritual, Ral, Ritual, 4 mana, Pasts for 2. So that needs 2 rituals in hand, and then the rest needs to be card draw. Or just Ralph flips and I die to that. Kani, when you get your haircut, what do you tell the barber to do? I tell them to do the usual. It's rather simple. But it took, like, I go to a barber salon that is just very far away from my house to be able to do that compared to the other options. What do you think is better, chat? Holding up an Otawara for the cost reducer, the first cost reducer they play? Or bogging the graveyard right now? And can I do anything else than that? I don't think so. Dobra, zagramy Titana. Zobaczymy, co się stanie. If I hold up Otawara, villain goes Medallion Ral. This is kind of really poor. My guess is they have some mana and a cost reducer. Well, you can infer the cost reducer from the fact that it's face up. I guess. I think I'll bog. Ruby Ritual Ral will be their line. Not if they have a land. And the Otawara is face up too, so villain like will play around it if they can. So it would be like play a land, Medallion Ral instantly. So I Otawara the Medallion then, villain rituals. And then like they have ritual pass again, they win. And I think they need more if I bog them. I think villain needs more stuff if I bog them. You could get Vesuva as second Otawara. Vesuva as second Otawara. Double bounce. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. On my way. I guess I get District? I don't know. Vesuva copy Otawara is a great line. I can't come up with anything that opens up more lines if I explore or anything. Maybe Lotus Field and Mycosynth Gardens means that if I draw an Analyst with Explore, I can go harder. That's the best I can come up with. Otherwise, I just bog. Amulet. So now if I play Amulet and play Mirrorpool, I have not enough mana. So I'll just play the Bog. Bój się Boga. Ziomeczku. Your move. Awkward if villain kills a Titan somehow. With Grape Shot could also happen. Ooh, didn't fetch EOT. Curious. Sruby's Redalion, sorry, Sronsun's Rage. Valkod Awakening, that's not particularly powerful. Vesuva copy Otawara bounce Vesuva, now you have two. That lane was so far away from being viable that it was actually kind of cute to suggest that. Otawara Vesuva. It doesn't work on... It doesn't work because... First, if you would bounce Vesuva, that's a Vesuva. Second... Oh, that's a good draw. You don't have ways to bounce your Vesuva. Third, Vesuva can't copy Otawara. 4. It's not like I wouldn't even have mana for that. Shifting Woodlands, copy Titan, bounce with Otawara. Now we have a Titan in hand. Yeah. What was that ability's wording? Perpetually. Wolf Run plus Forest was close to lethal. Yeah, I'm not after close. I'm only going for actually lethal. Oops, I don't have colorless mana.
He's a phenomenal control player.
If you time you because you had to explain that Vesuva doesn't literally transform into another card, that's kinda funny.
Sure. I'm so hacking sure. No, a Brazik wjechał. Co tu dużo mówić. Imagine having 21 minutes on your clock while the opponent has 0 minutes 30 seconds. Pretty hard to imagine, like, not what happened here. I have 33 seconds. So yeah, also, like, the games you win against Storm, like, there is still a subset of them. Feels like the Trinisphere is trying to salvage the games that are not particularly salvageable. A little bit. Good.